we go. With blue, now we've got Canyon Crab, 1 in a blue, a big butt 0/5 crab. Pretty cool art. Reminds me of this reminds me of a Guild Wars map, a Guild Wars 2 map. Where you're like on the island fighting those crabs. 1 in a blue, it gets +2/-2 in the end of turn, so Morphling-esque. At the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, draw a card, then discard a card. So it becomes a 2/3 if you activate it once.
Yeah.
And it becomes a 4/1 if you activate it twice. I think this is pretty good. Because it's about the threat of activation too, right? So like you attack, they don't block at all, you're like take 4 and then I loot at the end of my turn or something to that effect. Or if they do block with a 4/4 you trade. Hope they don't ping it for 1 at instant speed.
Can you attack with something that's 0?
Yeah. As long as it's not a wall,
so you
can attack.
Yeah, you can just attack with this, and just the threat of activation is annoying enough. Yeah, I like this. I mean, I think it's like I think it's a solid C.
Yeah, trend maybe even C+.
Plus.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty good. Alrighty.
Daring Thunder Chief, 3 in a blue.
Thief.
Turtle Rogue. That's a 4/4. So 4/4 flash for 4. That and Daring Thunder Thief enters the battlefield tapped.
I see. This is as close as they're going to get to printing a blue card with haste. Like this is them desperately wanting to print like a 4/4 haste for 5 in blue or something. They're like, we're not gonna give it haste.
I don't like it.
It's weird. It's aggressive, right? I mean, it's a 4/4 for 4 in blue, which is also something blue doesn't really do. And it can. It's an aggressive attacker. Obviously, if it didn't come into the battlefield tapped, this card would be outrageous.
Right. It does.
Yeah, so it's probably like a C-.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm ever taking this card.
That's interesting. I mean, a 4/4 for 4 in blue. Hey! It has flash. It triggers those things. You don't have to cast it on your turn. So all the things that trigger when you don't cast spells on your turn, like this.
Sure.
I think that actually does give it substantially more legs because we've seen real upside from that. 1/1 counters. Looting, all manner of things.
I don't disagree with you, but we're gonna have to see how much of that is in the set.
Yeah.
We're obviously the second color, so
that's definitely the hook for it, though.
There's several good ones in white.
Yeah, so that's the hook for it. So that makes me a little interested. Build around C+. That's the takeaway. Yeah. Should go back up to it when I say it. Build around C+. That's the takeaway.
Yeah.
All right, Deep Muck Desperado. God. Homarid Mercenary creature. Homarid. 2 in a blue for a 2/4. Whenever you commit a crime, so interacting with your opponent at all with a target, each opponent mills 3 cards, but it only happens once each turn. Weird. What a weird card to put in limited. It gets there on rate, 2/4 for 3. I'm already kind of into that.
Yeah.
Milling cards is generally an upside, like, for your opponent. If they have, like, any graveyards energies, or it just gives them information. It can only be once per turn, so you're not, like, milling them out fast. We have to see if there's no other mill, then I think this is pretty bad, because it's like a 2/4 for 3 with marginal upside for your opponent, which I don't think is playable. If this is part of a larger mill strategy in limited, then this is build around mill, like, C+.
Yeah, I think it's a C-. Otherwise,
I think it's like a D.
Okay.
I'm not into giving my opponent any upside.
Like,
surely Black and Green has some energies. This art's wild.
Sure. Yeah, Djinn of Fool's Fall, 4 in a blue, creature Djinn 4/3. It's a flyer, and you can plot it for 4. So
Okay.
uh,
This is very much like the vanilla check of plot. It's like, hey, what if
yeah.
we give your creature super not haste? Like that's kind of what this reads, right? Because it's like a 4/3 flyer for 4 that can't attack for 2 turns. It's a little worse than that because it can't block its first turn, but you're probably not blocking with this thing anyway if you played it on 4, right? It's
Are
unlikely.
you technically playing this card from your hand, plotting it because it's being exiled? Does this also help with the not casting on your turn thing?
Oh yes, that's true. That's actually a great point. Yeah, plotting also works with that.
Yeah,
Plotting avoids
not playing it
you're
from your
not
hand.
casting anything. No,
Exiled.
it's an
Yeah.
ability that's exiling it. So it's also not
And
counterable. By the way,
yeah, yeah.
it's only counterable when you cast it for free. Yeah, I guess if you care a lot about that Zenergy, but this is really slow. This is a 4/3
Yeah,
flyer on turn 5 that can't attack.
yeah,
C minus.
yeah. Sure. I would say a D plus. Like I still am
Okay,
never taking
fair.
that card.
Yeah, fair enough. Emergent Haunting. I just said C minus because like it has like the
Yeah, it has
like you
that
said
synergy.
that not playing stuff synergy.
We'll see
Right.
if it's more relevant.
Emergent Haunting. 1 in a blue for an enchantment uncommon. At the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, again, and Emergent Haunting isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. And you can pay 1 in a blue to surveil 1. So now this is a payoff for not playing something. A 3/3 flyer for 2? But it's also slow. Because even if you skip turn 3, so let's say you play this on 2, you plot on 3, it's not until 4 that you actually get to attack with it. You can block with it as a 3/3 flyer at the end of that turn. But surveilling 1 for 3 is also good. Like, obviously not until, like, the late game, but
Yeah,
you're very
it's very good.
happy to have that in the late game. Like if you've ever played limited in a late game and your opponent has some ability like that, it feels unwinnable because you're like, I'm off the top, and they're like, I'm digging 4 cards every turn,
Mhm.
because I have 9
But
mana or whatever.
this is for sure a 3/3 blocker for turn 3.
Yeah, assuming you plot on turn 3 or do anything else other than playing something on turn 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm assuming you have like instance, like you're only playing this if you're hoping to have instance for their turn.
yeah, yeah,
Flash
or
cards.
plotting or what have you.
Plotting.
So yeah, I think this is probably like a C plus. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Might be even a little better if you have a bunch of plot going on.
Yeah, I like this. This also it also feeds into my just fantasy of always having a blue red weird spellcaster deck
Oh
in
yeah,
limited.
yeah. It's got to be a thing. All right, you go.
Failed Fording. One in a blue instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control a desert, surveil 1.
I don't know how many deserts there are. I don't think there's a ton of them.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think there's any way this is good.
so it's a balance with a surveil, maybe. Yeah, it's medium.
Maybe,
But huge props for the Oregon Trail flavor here.
of course, but
Your
C
fucking
plus,
oxen have drowned. You lost all
of
your
course. I
meat.
meant D plus. D plus.
D plus. Okay, sure.
You all have scurvy and you died.
Yeah, everyone drowned while crossing the river.
Yeah,
Fleeting reflection. Oh, adorable.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like a wood hedgehog.
It's meant to look like a tumbleweed.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yes.
1 in a blue for an instant. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap that creature. Till end of turn, it becomes copy of up to 1 other target creature. That's interesting.
Whoa.
What a strange card. So you can use this
Yeah.
offensively to like do a bunch of damage, right? Like you have a 5-drop
Yep.
and you just like do this on a 1-drop to make it deal 5 damage. You can use it as a combat trick to like again take like your 2/2 flyer and make it like a 5/5 blocker when they attack. You can use it to blow out a removal spell and potentially a block. Also has the
Guaranteed hitting if you use this on a creature and they don't block it. Like, because
yeah
it's hexproof, like they can't respond and do
they
anything to it.
they will respond to this spell and you will get
Oh,
have
fair.
a big disaster blown out. So yeah, I still think it's just like a C. It's a I mean, maybe it's a C plus. It doesn't seem as good as like the Fey Blessing or whatever that we just had, the +1/+0 and flying permanently and it gains hexproof that turn. That
Yeah.
seems better than this.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is probably just a C, but it's interesting. I like it.
I like it.
It's nifty. There you go.
Geyser Drake, 2 and a blue creature Drake, 2/3. It's a flyer. As long as it's not your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Oh, I mean, I am so in for this.
Yeah, I like this.
I mean, it's a C plus.
Yeah, I think it's C plus. As the mating season approaches, drakes drive through scalding geysers, revealing the brightly coloured scales hidden beneath layers of dust.
The UK doesn't exist in this world.
Getting horny for geysers, mating season.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know where they're geysing.
Yeah. They're getting a little water blast gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. Harrier Strix! Strixes are back. It's a 1/1 for 1 flyer at common. When it enters the battlefield, tap target permanent. That's aggressive. And it loots for 3. We've seen some things like this. Last I recall, Kamigawa, right? There was a 1/1 for 1. Was it a flyer? I think it was a flyer. There's a 1/1 flyer for 1 that on ETB it tapped something. It was particularly good because of ninjutsu.
Because of ninjutsu.
Because
yeah,
ninjutsu.
it was.
There's not
Maybe
ninjutsu
an
here.
Infiltrator of some sort.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's not ninjutsu here that we're aware of. Oh, that tapper guy, the tapper bear, commits crimes. That's another upside for it. We have to look for things that can passively commit crimes. This also commits a crime upon entering.
That's what I'm saying. Or what I thought you were referring to.
Yeah, I was. It just made me. It took me a second to get there because it reminded me that the tapper guy
it enables criminology for sure.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is fine. It's like a C though.
C? Yeah.
I think it needs some energies. You either need to be aggressive or you need to be inclined towards a life of crime.
The fact that it can draw and discard to a card in the late
looting.
game, or be good enough in the late game to be used with something like crimes, like cool.
This art is fantastic.
Yes.
And it's free.
Jail.
And you get to take it. Yeah.
You're welcome. Jailbreak Scheme. 1 blue, and then for 3 additional, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It can't be blocked this turn.
That's an atrocious rate.
Yeah. For 4.
Yeah.
For 3, target artifact or creature's owner puts it on top or bottom of their library.
That's better.
That's better.
It's 3, which is lower than usual for that. So that's why they costed the first. So I think the idea is you're almost never paying the first one unless it's game winning. But if you have 6 mana and you're able to do both of this, that's quite the swing, right, for an attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's very aggressive for an attack. But is this playable?
I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's a spree, so I'm still gonna take it and be upset for like a couple of drafts, but then I'm
Yeah.
not gonna take it anymore. It's gonna. I mean, it's a C minus, a
Yeah.
D plus.
Yeah, I think it's a C minus. Three mana to do the top or bottom thing is like pretty decent. Because like even though if it's something
Yes,
really strong,
yes.
they put it on the top, but you're still going even on cards because they're gonna draw it. So like it's a one for
Yeah, for
one.
sure.
Um,
Yeah, that is a very strong thing to do. But
and the fact that it's three, like normally the issue is like when this costs four, if you do it to a 3/3, you like don't feel great because you're losing out on tempo probably, right? Like they played a 3/3 for three. You spend four to put it on the top. They probably won't put it on the top because they don't care about a 3/3. If you spend four where it's above rate, where you're putting like a legendary or something insane that they played, well then they're for sure putting it on the top, and you still have to deal with it. My whole point in saying that
I
is that this costing three makes it more like desirable to just play it on a 3/3, right?
yeah, I wish this was an instant, and I just wish this was an instant.
Yeah, yeah. At four, it typically is an instant. Like here, I'll ask you a question. If you had that villainous or what are the vigilante guys or whatever, the 3/3 for three that when something dies it gets bigger, and I cast this on it, would you put it on the top or bottom if you had the 3/3 for three? If you just like play that turn three, my turn three, I play this. Do you put the 3/3 for three on top or bottom?
Probably,
Which one? Top?
probably putting it on the top.
On the top? Yeah. I guess it depends on your hand, but yeah, probably would too. Lone Shark, boy, that is some sort of art. Uh, three and a blue for a 3/4 Shark Rogue. When it enters the battlefield, if you've cast two or more spells this turn, draw a card. Plot. Oh boy. Oh boy.
First of all, just the flavor,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
the
Uh,
art, so good.
yeah, so this is good, right? I'm pretty sure this is good. Like, the obvious
Yeah,
thing is that when you plot it, it's just for sure drawing you a card.
yeah.
It is just a 3/4 for four
It's
that draws
slow.
you a card and is a little slow. I still think this is good. I think this is like a C plus.
It's a C
Because
plus. I think it's a C.
I think it's a C plus. It's a 3/4 for four that draws you a card. Like it's like a as close to a
But
guaranteed
on
draw
turn
as you
five,
can get. Huh?
but it's for sure on turn five, and it's eating your whole turn four.
It is eating your whole turn four. It's slow. It's definitely slow, but you do rebound in a major way.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's a C plus. We'll see though. The negative is that the only time it is definitely not draw a card is when you top deck this. Like you top deck it and it's just a 3/4 for four that you're
Yeah.
probably playing because you need to develop your board. I guess
Yeah.
you're probably just plotting it. Yeah, no, even if you draw this in the late game, unless you literally have to play it to survive or win, you're still just plotting it and hoping that you draw any other spell, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, next page. It's you.
Marauding Sphinx, 3 blue. So 5 for a 3/5 flying vigilance ward 2. Whenever you commit a crime, surveil 2. This ability triggers only once each turn. I mean, this is brutal late game. Like, I'm not happy about seeing this.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
this
C. It's a C plus.
yeah, this card's good. Flying Vigilance Ward 2 with 5 health, like
It's a lot. A
this
lot.
takes a bit to
I mean,
yeah, this is good.
Even if
This
they have
is
removal, it's probably eating their turn 5 or 6
oh
to
yeah,
respond to it.
it's that's the idea. It's like it's very hard even if they can kill it, it's very hard to do it with any positive tempo. If they can't kill it, it's going to win the game by itself. It's going to functionally block, and it's going to give you card selection asking very little.
Is this if you
This is
is
a
this
B
a
minus.
B minus? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this card's good. maybe even the
I was
B.
gonna say B even.
Could even be a B.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's the sort of 5-drop you're looking for. Metamorphic Blast. Also love this art. This art is amazing.
Oh yeah.
1 blue for an instant. Spree. +1. Until end of turn, target creature becomes a white rabbit with base power and toughness 0/1. And 3 target player draws 2 cards. So it's a combat trick that draws you 2 cards. So I guess you can use it as pseudo removal for 2 mana, draw 2 cards for 4 mana, and then for 5 mana, removal that draws you 2 cards. Yeah, this card's good. This is like a B, maybe even a B+.
And the other thing to think about is, even if you cannot use this for removal, and this is the only thing in your hand, and you're in a tight situation, and they're attacking with 2 things, you can just play this for 5 on their turn.
Yeah, just
draw 2 cards and prevent yourself from taking damage.
Yeah, it can win the swing. Yeah, this card's very good. I think this is a B to a B+.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this card's excellent.
It's like flexible removal, draw, damage prevention, and it's all priced to move. So, and you can do all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. You're good.
Nimble Brigand, 2 and a blue. Creature human rogue 1/3. Nimble Brigand can't be blocked if you committed a crime this turn. Whenever Nimble Brigand deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
That last spell we just saw also commits a crime.
This card's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very interested in committing crimes with this thing. Man, if you can consistently commit a crime with this guy can just run away with the entire game.
If you can consistently commit crimes, this is like a B.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. A 1/3 for 3 is asking a bit of you. Like, that is an investment on the turn and not a lot of stats. But yeah, so you want to be controlly. You want spells. This is the sort of red-blue. This is why you really like this, right? This is the red-blue card. You know, you want your whatever red removal we have that deals 3 damage for 2 mana, maybe another one that deals 5 damage for 4 mana, you know, at instant speed in this guy. So, yeah, I'd say this is like a build around B probably. But I think even in a normal deck, this is still serviceable. It's like a C. Like, even if you just occasionally do a crime, it's probably a C.
Yeah.
Because it just has to hit them once, right, to redraw.
Yeah.
Outlaw Stitcher. 3 and a blue for a human warlock, 1/4. When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature token, then put 2 1/1 counters on that token for each spell you've cast this turn other than the first. Okay, so this is a 1/4 and a 2/2 for 4 as a floor. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in for that floor. That's 3/6 of stats for 4. That's fine, across 2 creatures. Then if you plot this thing for more than its cost, for 5, and then on the next turn, you've now gotten a 4/4 and a 1/4 for 5.
For each.
Potentially bigger, right? Maybe even a 6/6 and a 1/4 for 5. Yeah, for each. Yeah, this is a B, right?
This is something I want to plot.
Yeah. You definitely want to plot this if possible, but even if you just cast it on turn 4, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a B.
Also, if you've been plotting other things, like...
Oh, yeah, oh, that's a good... Yeah, yeah, the plan really comes to fruition. You've done all your plotting. Oh, that's going to be hilarious. Right,
a plot into a plot.
Oh, man. Oh, this is cool. I didn't really realize how this is going to play out. If your opponent's being aggressive, you can't really afford to plot that much, right? But this is really good into aggressive deck, right? It's a 1/4 and a 2/2. So it's going to be able to trade off and like brick something and just make combat really difficult for your opponent. But if your opponent is plotting, this allows you to go over the top with plotting, right? You're both just like scheming away your little plots, and then this guy's like,
who has the better way to win the game?
he has the biggest plop.
If you're playing this, you're plotting. It's gonna work.
Yeah. Okay, this is really cool. This is going to be wild limited. Like, are we both plotting away? Is someone being aggressive to try to keep you from plotting? Oh, it's going to be cool. Yeah, but this is still a B.
I'm excited to see how this shakes down.
That's neat. All right, you're good.
Peerless Rope Master. 4 and a blue. Creature human rogue. 4/4. When Peerless Rope Master enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target tapped creature to its owner's hand.
This is going to be
B minus.
Annoying. You said B minus?
No.
Let's see,
C minus?
C minus? What letter are you saying?
D.
D minus. Oh, that's D minus. Yeah, I think it's just, again, the replaceable 5-drop. But this is going to be aggravating, for sure. Like, I mean, you attack with your 4-drop, and they're like, okay, take 3 or 4 or whatever, and then they're like, bounce it, and I have a 4/4. Just an annoying tempo play. But yeah, I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, now this I'm into. Phantom Interference, 1 blue, instant. I read ahead. So for 3 and a blue, I get a 2/2 flyer at instant speed. That energizes with all the not playing things during my turn. Or I can counter a spell. I can, whatever, that not Mana Leak, but the worst version of Mana Leak. So this is a worse version of... Whatever. We just saw the spell in the last set too, except it could like suspect something as well. No, not spell pierce. They print something like Mana Leak is 1 and a blue, and it counters unless it's 3, and that's too good. So they've been printing this 2 mana counter for play. This card is fantastic.
Yeah.
This card is, I really like this. I think this is a C+.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
I mean, how bad do you feel if on this it only costs 5 to do both of them? Like, how bad do you feel if your 5-drop gets countered and then they create a 2/2 flyer? Like, that is terrible. That is terrible. And the fact that it does the counter early, the counter late with basic, like that's a card. This is like counter target spell draw a card. Maybe even a little better than draw a card. It's a 2/2 flyer at instant speed.
Yeah. I think this is very good.
Yeah. Okay.
When you said C+, I was thinking like B minus to B. Like,
maybe. Yeah. This is.
I'm running this in blue.
Yeah. Early front runner for best blue common.
Yeah.
All right. You're good.
Plan the heist. Oko's chillin'. 2 and 2 blue. Sorcery. Surveil 3. If you have no cards in hand, then draw 3 cards. You can plot this.
So you surveil 3 only if you have no cards in hand, but you always draw 3 cards.
Yes. Sorry. And you can plot this as well.
Yeah. So it's harmonized in blue.
I don't know. I've not seen this card in limited. This kind of card. I don't know what really to think of it. I mean, drawing 3 cards is nice.
I think
it's adequately costed.
I will play one of them, and exactly one of these. And it has to be sufficiently slow of a format for me to even want to play one of these. But I mean, drawing 3 for 4 is certainly on rate. I'm not sure really what you're getting out of plotting it, other than like emptying your hand next turn to try to hit the Surveil 3 as well. Surveil 3, draw 3 is very strong. That's very strong.
Like if you have 2 cards left in hand and this is one of them, you plot this.
Yeah.
You play the next card.
Yeah, you hope to draw land or something. Yeah, I mean, Surveil 3, draw 3 for 4, I'm pretty sure it would be a high playable, like if that's just what it was. but you're still not really interested in playing more than one of them and it is double blue as well, which I think is intentional. You have to read between the lines with these, game designers. It's an uncommon and it's double blue. They realize it's pretty strong. So yeah, I think this is like a C plus, B minus maybe even. But again, you're unlike other cards that are maybe a B minus. You're not looking to play a bunch of them, just one.
Yeah, agreed.
Razzle Dazzler, 1 and a blue for a creature human wizard, a 1/2 at common. When you cast your second spell each turn, it gets a 1/1 counter, and it can't be blocked this turn. So he's razzle dazzling, rolling out your plot, right? You got your plots tucked away, and then he's like, boom, 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 razzle dazzle. I'm bigger and I can't be blocked.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still not thrilled about it. You have to do it at least once for you to feel like you've done anything of value. He's not really blocking too profitably before that.
Yeah.
Nor Riddle. We've seen Saddle 2 as kind of being the hurdle, so he doesn't even do that by himself. So it's like, how early can you plot and do the thing with him? I guess. We've seen a few things that plot for 2, haven't we? Like a couple things.
Yeah, and 3.
That plot for 2, yeah, we've seen several 3s. So yeah, I'm kind of off this for now. If we see several things that like, I guess the idea is, so you play this on 2, you plot for 3, then on 4 you play 2 things. This thing's a 2/3 that can't be blocked. Yeah, I'm not excited about. I think many ways.
I think
it's a D.
I'm not playing this card.
Fair. Okay. Maybe D plus. Maybe C minus. Probably D plus. All right, you're good.
Seize the Secrets. 2 and a blue. Sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you committed a crime this turn. Draw 2 cards.
Seems fine.
So draw 2 for 2.
Yeah, draw
Ideally.
2 for 2 is good. You have to be able to commit a crime, which presumably is going to cost some amount of mana, unless you have a creature that can do it passively. It's a sorcery. This is like a C minus. I think.
Yeah, I'm not into this.
C minus, D plus.
But it's good.
Shackle Slinger. 2 and a blue for a 3/2 human soldier. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose target creature an opponent controls. If it's tapped, put a stun counter on it. Otherwise, tap it. That's, frankly, a little underwhelming for what I thought it was going to say.
Yeah, this is really hard to accomplish, I feel.
It's still okay. Again, it's the plotting thing, but it's still okay,
obviously.
I think. I mean, it's a 3/2 for 3 with, like, some upside, right? So, it's like a C.
I mean, the idea is you've already... In a perfect world, you've already plotted something. And then you play this, and they've attacked in, and then you put a stun counter on that thing.
That's true, yeah. Like, you plot on 2, you play this on 3, and then you, like, stun, and you, like, unplot your...
Or even turn
2 draw.
4 or 5 or 6 or 7, and you have something plotted like this.
Yeah, it's just not hugely impactful in any case. I think it's just a C.
Like, I'm saying, if you're trying to slow down things just to get by, and you're all about some plotting, I'm not upset about playing this on any later turn.
It's just one stun. It's just one stun counter.
It's not when this enters, though. It continues to do this.
Yeah, you have to keep casting 2 spells each turn, which you probably aren't doing.
It's hard, right?
For much longer.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it reaches a C plus if you're really doing a lot of plotting, or, I mean, you don't have to plot. You can just like double spell with like cheap stuff.
We just saw the draw 2, too.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Maybe.
Shifting Grift. 2 blue sorcery spree. Exchange control of 2 target creatures for an additional 2. Exchange control of 2 target artifacts for 1 or for 3. exchange control of 2 target enchantments for 3.
Commander out of 10.
Commander out of 10. I mean, the exchange target creatures thing for 4 could be pretty broken.
Yeah, I
Trade,
get your bomb,
trade
you get a
your
mercenary.
yeah mercenary. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like it. I mean, I don't think it's great,
Yeah, if you
but
have good ways, if you have a lot of ways to make mercenaries or other small things that
little
you don't care
things.
about,
Yeah,
yeah, then it's kind of like mind control because it only costs 4,
yeah,
which that's good. That's definitely
it's
good.
really good. Yeah, I mean, I think this is like a C minus.
Yeah, if you have like 6 ways to make mercenaries, 8 ways to make mercenaries, it's probably a little bit better. But I mean, you really have to have a sufficient way to make things that you don't care about. Because there's
Even if
also
I
just
haven't something that's an ETB card that's a 2/2, and there's a 4/4 on the board because it's turn 4 or 5, you know, I'll happily make that trade.
I'm not sure I'd use the word happy, but I might be okay with making that trade.
You're paying obviously an additional card, but
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. It's interesting. I'll just say like a C. I don't, maybe a C plus. Build around if you have a bunch of little shit to give away. Slick Shot Lockpicker, 2 and a blue for a 2/3 human rogue. When it enters the battlefield, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. Okay. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, yeah. And it plots. Ooh. Ooh. So this is the double spell extraordinaire, right?
yeah, for sure.
It's doing it all itself. Boy, this with those spree things as well.
Yeah, I really like this.
It stinks that this thing doesn't have flash or like can't do its thing at instant speed. It's no Snapcaster Mage. It's close. It's Snapcaster Mage at home. Um it's a
Is it a C plus though?
um I think it's
It's
probably
good.
better. I think it's probably better than a C plus.
Like a B minus.
Yeah, I think it's at least a C plus. Obviously, very much red blue, red black. You know, you want some removal to be what you're getting back here. But yeah, plotting with this means you can windmill slam some really good action.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. C plus, B minus.
Yeah, once again, this also fits well into this like wet fantasy I have for having a
Yeah,
cool spell sling deck.
and it does all the little things: the not playing stuff on your turn and the double spelling because it has plot.
Absolutely.
You're good.
Slipshot Vault Buster, 2 and a blue, creature human rogue, 1/4. Vigilance. Slickshot Vault Buster gets +2/+0 as long as you've committed a crime this turn. So a 3/4 for 3. Vigilance. It's not fun.
It's like a C minus.
Yeah.
C
Yeah.
minus. If you're in red and have a bunch of removal, maybe
Yeah.
you're a little more interested. Spring Splasher, 1 and a blue for a 2/1 frog beast. When it attacks, target creature defending player controls gets -3, -0 until end of turn. This is fine. This is like an aggressive little angry toad frog. I kind
This
of like
is
this.
not how I imagine my springs going, is like poisonous little dart frogs attacking me.
It once escaped a cook's pot. Now it fears neither heat nor human. Oh my god.
Hell right.
Hell right. Um, I think this is fine. It saddles stuff as well. See this
Yeah.
angry
Yeah.
frog riding upon a steed.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's like a C minus, something like that. It's probably a C minus, but it's interesting.
Stop Cold.
This card.
3 and a blue. Flash enchantment. Aura. Enchant artifact or creature when unstoppable. Enters the battlefield, tap and change it permanent. Uses all abilities. Blah blah. Yeah, we've seen this card.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
This is the most premium version of it. Like, very much the 4-mana version of it. It has flash. It taps it. It keeps it tapped, and it gets rid of all abilities.
Yes.
The only way to full Yahtzee it if it was target non-land permanent, but it is just artifact or creature.
Yes.
So yeah, this is cool and uncommon. Yeah, this is like a C plus.
Yeah, sure.
Borderline B minus if you need the removal. Take the Fall. That's cool. 1 blue instant. Target creature gets -1/-0 until end of turn. It gets -4/-0 until end of turn if you control an outlaw, which is an assassin, mercenary, pirate, rogue, warlock. And you draw a card. This card's great.
Yeah, this card's good.
This card's great. Yeah. Obviously, you want an outlaw, but
it's a fun trick.
We've seen a bunch of things make mercenaries. We haven't been noting how many. There's things that have been rogues, like even the 1/4 blue guy. I believe the zombie he made was a zombie rogue, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's likely that every token that gets generated, or the vast majority of tokens that get generated, are outlaws. But yeah, we've seen the -4/-0 draw card for 1 blue, and it was excellent. So this is like a C plus. It's like a C. I mean, if you win combat with this and draw a card, God bless. It's such a beating.
This town ain't big enough. 3 and a blue instant.
4 and a blue.
4 and a blue. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent you can return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hand.
Ooh.
This is weirdly aggressive.
Yeah, so it only costs 2 if you're doing 1 for me, 1 for you. Or also if you do both of them for yourself.
Yeah. If you're really into some ETB stuff that you have, like, it's just annoying for them.
It can also be like, imagine they're trying to set up a good combat, and they're like, before I go to attacks, remove your creature, right? Or like, I go to attacks, remove your creature so you can't block, and you're like, no, in response, bounce your biggest creature you're going to attack with, and my creature you're trying to kill for 2 mana.
Yeah.
Or just bounce 2 of your things is also annoying. This is pretty good.
In response to removal? Yeah.
Or just bounce your thing, bounce 2 for 5 is not, like, overcosted. It's not great. You have to be pretty aggressive. Like, you have to be generally on the flyer game plan, right? That's really demoralizing when they're, like, hitting you with flyers, and you're like, I'm going to race you, and they're like, bounce 2 of your things, and you're like, I lose the game. This
is surprisingly versatile.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this quite a bit. I think this is like a C+.
Yeah.
Like it. Visage Bandit. 3 and a blue for a 2/2 uncommon. I feel like there's so many uncommons. Shapeshifter Rogue. You may have Visage Bandit enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control. So there's a Shapeshifter Rogue in addition to its other types. And it plots for 3, so an undercosted plot. This is one of the first ones we've seen that does that. Plots for less than its cost.
Yeah. And for 3.
It is just you control. So the idea is that you plot this on 3, you play a 4-drop, you play this for 3, copy the 4-drop. Was that good enough?
I mean, I think it's good enough. And it's a bandit. Or
a rogue. Yeah.
Rogue.
Oh no. It's just creature you control. I'm not sure how much I like this. I'll give it a C to start.
Yeah, I think C is. That's what I was gonna say, but that's fair.
All right, fine. If you're okay with C, I'm going C minus. Oh, we did it! We finished blue.